What's up, friends of the good mood? This is Manni and welcome to a weapon review here. The heavy version of Scourge. Calamity, Mark II, level 12, max 3 times on a Fury, 5,600 damage around on the Scourge, and 8,500 or so on the Calamity. So there's a good 30% damage increase. So let's see how this thing does on the Fury in free-for-all, right? I've been thinking about using also, or bringing some additional Beacon Rush gameplay in, or some stuff, but I felt like if it performs okay in free-for-all, then it will certainly be good in Beacon Rush. So that was the ultimate challenge here, to run this in free-fall and see how it works. We were able to snack that Inquisitor based off the, the Quantum Raider module that helped out a lot. But you're gonna often see things like that happen, right? You run and fire at somebody, then he enters stealth mode, and you immediately lose your lock-on. And that's 3 or 4 seconds of lock-on time that you will be losing even after you activated the Quantum Raider module. So the activation of Quantum Raider takes 2 seconds, then 3 or 4 seconds lock-on, and that's when you would start to fire again, after you've already used your currency to activate the module. So in most situations, when the enemy stealth jumps and you haven't lost your lock-on, and you don't even need to bother activating the Quantum Raider module, you're not going to finish being locked on and killing him before you're destroyed. And that's a weakness that the Scourge has, and that's obviously also a weakness that the Calamity has. And that's a thing, in free-for-all, using the Fury most of all, that isn't very fast and cannot dodge a jumping Spectre. The only way for you to stay alive and do something useful is to either do what I do here, shoot over obstacles where the enemy can't fire back. That's something that the Fury can do very well. Or alternatively, activate Quantum Raider module in advance. That's really the only life insurance you have with Scourge or Spark or Calamity in free-for-all against stealth robots. And since stealth robots are literally 60% of everything you see on the live server these days, you have to play with Quantum Raider module for nearly every second kill, right? And that's a big weakness and a big problem. That's why I like I would run Trident any day long, and much more often than Scourge and Spark and Calamity. In this case, Calamity, of course, as heavy weapon. The Trident is the better combo, simply because you have no lock-on, you can be very flexible with different multiple targets, and you don't need to constantly use the Quantum Raider module to not lose your lock-on, right? And that's the big weakness. So since this is a review, I must be honest about the weapon and say that I feel like this is the one thing that really destroys the performance on this, the long lock-on. And also here, firing at long range with 3 heavy Calamities. That's something we're gonna see a lot of battles here. And I feel like somehow the damage output from the Calamity is really good at short range, but it's not as good at long range. It seems like the 3 Scourges from the Guang that I recorded yesterday or a day before, these 3 Scourges did the same damage output at long range than these 3 Calamities do at long range. I'm not sure if they have changed the multiplier on the Calamity to be different from the one that the Scourge has at long range, but it just doesn't feel like more damage than Scourge does when it comes to long range. At short range, I feel like there is a damage increase for sure, but at long range, I'm not so sure, right? That's something I just figured out while playing and testing, and that confused me a lot. This, by the way, down there is a Raven. It took me a long time to figure out what it was, because the weapons are always in the way and I just can't see it. But I know it's a Raven now, as you see. No, it's a Griffin! See, until now I thought it was a Raven, it was just a Griffin. So I still wasn't sure what it was. The weapons, they were right in between. Can we steal that kill? Yep, we can. Rampage already. Obviously, 600 meters range is a selling point, right? That's a very good selling point. But that's also what Tridents have. Tridents have also 600 meters range, and Dragoons also have 600 meters range, and both weapons do not suffer the weakness of requiring a lock-on to do anything, you know? So, should you get Calamity? For what would you want to have Calamity? When you have a 3 or 4 second lock-on every time you want to shoot somebody. Every time someone dies, boom, lock-on. Every time somebody enters stealth, lock-on. Every time you aim a little bit too far to the side, lock on. So, and that means you're dead most of the time. And I'm personally not very impressed by the Calamity, to be honest. Maybe it should be good. That could be something they could do, like give the Calamity a little bit of a shorter lock-on time. Maybe half the time that the Scourge has. This would be, you know, a significant advantage against the Scourge, which is supposed to be the weaker equivalent, right? If the lock-on was a little bit faster on it, because let's face it, not too many robots are very good with heavy weapons. The things that currently dominate the game are weapons with light weapons and medium weapons. Our Jun is going to have 2 heavy weapons, but the Ao Jun will only be able to fire at 1 target, right? And when it kills the target, lock on. While a different weapon will simply allow him to kill that, and that, and that, and that, and then die, right? So that's just something to keep in mind, and that I want to get you guys away. At the end of this video, of course, I'm gonna make a little should you get this weapon part, okay? So for now, let's just look a little bit at more gameplay, fully maxed here. By the way, also with damage module and last stand on the Fury, so that we have really the maximum damage output. No boosters active though. I did not bother activating boosters, because I don't want to play or make a weapon setup only so that the only way to get this is by, having a high upkeep. I didn't want to go this way. Only last stand, huh? But he died anyways, and this is one of these weird things, right? I stopped firing. Look, I fire at him, and now I stop firing. Now my weapon is now reloading. He's got last stand, and he's invincible now. So stopping to fire 1 second, 2 seconds, and now he dies 2 seconds after I stop firing. Eh? What's going on? That's weird. Things like that happen sometimes these days, and I never really understand why. We already broke through the frontal shielding of that Lancelot, and you see the Lancelot is going down really fast, and he's almost destroyed. And now I quick switch from him to him. See that? And somehow, even though once again I lost my lock on the Mercury, I still was able to deal damage and kill him. Let's have a look at that again. It's such a weird thing. I deal damage, deal damage, deal damage. Okay, now I have to reload, okay? I start dealing damage and then quick switch so that I don't lose my lock on, but I lose my lock on anyways, but the guy dies anyways. I really don't understand what's going on these days with the lock on and the damage buffer that is somehow existent, where some damage you do is being stored in some kind of buffer and somehow unleashed, even past lock on and such things like that. But yeah, so it's a funny thing that happens, and not really annoying, really just more like a funny bug than anything else. We're fighting against a Trident Fury over there. This is a Trident Fury that just lost like 180,000 health maybe, or 160,000, and is now destroyed. Of course, keep in mind, the closer you get with Calamity, the more damage you will do, right? Keep that in mind, because it has the multiplier to do more damage at short range, and this way I was able to flatten his physical shield. Not yet, no, it's still up. Well, I guess he still has it. No, he still has it. I don't know. Yeah, like I said, I'm not too impressed by the weapon, and you may already know where this is going. I don't think this is per se the best weapon that you should be using, or that you should be going towards, right? The lock-on being the #1 reason why this isn't the case. You can do a lot of damage. You see how I drain that Hize really fast, but I think 4 Scourges on a Spectre would have done more damage by now than 3 heavy Calamities fully maxed. And yeah, so here we activate Quantum Radar module, and thankfully we were able to kill him. Unfortunately, last stand was triggered already. Dang it. But one thing that you can do with the Fury too is corner shoot. Believe it or not, a Fury, that big bulky square-looking thing, actually has the ability to corner shoot by just using the 1 or 2 weapons of that robot. Against a robot that has no splash damage, you can do this. See that? I'm able to drain that Inquisitor really fast. Now I have to walk into safety, and I'm down to 4,700 health. His jump almost allowed him to kill me. And now I'm gonna be able to corner shoot and kill him again, right? I just need to make sure never to give him even 1 split second of line of sight with me, and then I'm able to just drain him through the wall. Last stand protected him for a second or so, but it wasn't enough, and he got destroyed. Of course, it is also a thing you can be asking, how is this thing on a Falcon? And that right here is just a teaser video. I'm jumping out of his range right here and destroying the full Hize with 3 Calamity's landing backwards in full safety or on top of this thing here. Last stand protected, but got killed anyways now. This is the Falcon. And I may actually do a Falcon video with the Calamity also, just to figure out how good is the Falcon with using the Calamity just as the main primary weapon, right? A lot of damage potential when you get close and never missing with a lock on though. So I think this could be something for a future review or a future video to test this, right? Right here, this was just a little teaser, if you will, to see that this could be something you can do as well. Let's jump back onto Canyon and do some more killing here on this. I know this enemy 2 is probably a stealth robot, so I keep this guy locked on, so because he won't be using his stealth jump now, so I won't lose my lock on. Activating Quantum Radar module and now focusing the Spectre when he jumps up, not getting myself locked, unlocking him because of my Quantum Radar, and I was able to snack him immediately. But look how little the damage is you do against a Bulwark, okay? I'm at 300 meters, I'm really close to him, and I'm starting now. Shield is gone, now his physical shield comes into play, and I deal no damage, no damage, no damage, no damage, because that big Bulwark has 2 shields that I need to bring down. And now, even though he doesn't have a rush weapon, he has only Dragoons, he was able to almost kill my Fury already. And once again, same spot, same situation, Quantum Radar used, but too late, getting killed. But let's take revenge again against that Bulwark. I think it may be a little bit later now, because I had to get some kills to get additional points. So I think I used a Mercury or something in between, so I can get some kills and then bring back the Fury with the fist points. And that's what I've done right here. That's how we've gotten 5 kills in between, or 4. Enough points to bring the Fury back. And now let's deal some damage to that Bulwark. However, I noticed he was going to get behind cover, and I needed to walk count past the cover first to kill him then. Alright, can we get that guy over there? Can we? This is the question. He's gonna have his shield, but the shield just broke, and... Yep, nice. We've got him right when we had to reload. Then I see this guy being almost destroyed. I thought maybe I'm going to be able to get him there, but he gets behind the cover. And the Bulwark is behind me again. What the heck? So quick. Here in this case, you see we are very close, 120 meters. This is when the multiplier kicks in. It's the same Bulwark that we fired at before, but this time his physical shield broke much quicker than before because we were faster, and the damage increases and rises up a lot the closer you get. We were still able to be first, but I can only tell you I had to use Quantum Radar module all the time. Constantly I had to use Quantum Radar. Here, once again, activating Quantum Radar before the Spectre jumps, knowing that he will be jumping, and God forbid you activate it after he jumped. That will kill you, right? So you have to actually have it running before he triggers his jump ability. That's the only way for you to use it. Here we have a Mender coming up with the resistance on the built-in healing, but we do have enough damage potential to kill him and his healed HP and through the resistance as well. And yeah. What's this? Somebody is shooting into my flank. Okay, I see you, Mercury. Activating Quantum Radar module here in case he wants to jump. And there it is. There was the jump. He wanted to wait for the Quantum Radar module to disappear first, but it wasn't. He didn't have enough time for it, and that was it. And yeah. So, by the way, guys, if you like these new weapon reviews, these robot reviews, I've made reviews for the Aochun, the Aochin, the Aoguang. I link it to you guys in the at the end of this video in the upper right in the things where you can click on. If you like these kind of things, then please also consider subscribing to the channel in case you haven't done it yet, and ring that notification bell so you get notified for upcoming videos like those, right? I may even think about a giveaway really soon. Maybe we're gonna have a little giveaway coming up. And yeah, so something to look forward to, I guess. Here in this situation, I show you the weakness. I have to activate Quantum Radar module in advance, because if I don't, I lose my lock-on. And this shows the enemy I have it running, so that he will simply activate his stealth afterwards, right? If the enemy is careful and he's aware of what you're doing, then he will just bait you to use the Quantum Radar module, and then you use it, and then you die. Because he will just wait with the stealth until he really needs it, and then you're getting flattened like this, right? So I decided to bring this into the video because it's very relevant to show the strength or weakness of the Calamity. So which brings me to the end of this video and the question. Stop shooting my butt, by the way. Should you get the Calamity? Personally, I don't think the Calamity is very good. I think the Trident and Dragoon are much better weapons, mainly because of the non-existent lock-on. The lock-on time ruins this weapon completely, and especially considering that you want to use it on robots like a Fury or Butch that don't really have a big ability, you know? They don't really have a stealth jump or a resistance built in. They are just slow walking fortresses, and the only thing they need to be able to rely on is their weapon's firepower. And if the weapon doesn't fire because it needs a lock-on, and everything, shields, physical shields, energy shields, stealth, everything makes the weapon worthless. And then of course left is not much for you to work with on those robots. It will probably work really good on an Aochun. I'm gonna test this as well, maybe during the next live stream. But keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, that this weapon in its current state, in its long lock-on time, is a very big disadvantage to you, especially when multiple targets are coming at you or with stealth, and you will use Quantum Radar module all the time just so you are able to do something with this thing. Whereas a Trident can simply fire even without having a lock-on, or you don't lose a lock-on, and when they come out of stealth, you immediately fire. No 4 seconds wasted in between, you know? So, yeah, that's why I think Calamity, good idea, nice to have, but not really that well working. However, maybe on the Falcon, this is where I want to test the Calamity, because on the Falcon, you have the resistance and the HP to just walk in. And in a one-on-one, lock on the guy and just flatten the dude at short range with your resistance. That's something we're gonna test as well, okay? So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and comment down below. And if you haven't already, hit subscribe, as brutal as a man can hit, for more. Thanks for bearing with me. You guys are awesome as always. Manni-Gaming signing off. Bye-bye.